Hi and welcome to cat fasting. It has been 13 days since my last update, so I am currently on 12.5 milligrams of Manjaro. The first 7 days of the 13 days, I didn't see any change on the scale. This week, my weight is 167.6. In the last 7 days, I've lost 2.2 pounds. And all time, I've lost 103.2 pounds. The first of the 13 days, the first week of the last 13 days rather, I fasted 1 day clean. I did 3 one meal a days, and I did 3 up days. One of those included a family gathering, and that was the OMAD. Not particularly healthy, but still OMAD. I did notice that at the family gathering, no one commented on my weight loss. I did have people say that I would look good, and it was a little mentally strange because I'd sort of psyched myself up with my anxiety issues, thinking, oh, some of these people haven't seen me since I lost even 100 pounds. You know, they'll probably ask what I've been doing, and I'll be able to talk about that because I love talking about fasting, and nobody did. That is a positive step forward in the way that, you know, hopefully people just have decided to stop commenting on other people's bodies, and that's fine. I just wasn't prepared for any other conversations, and I'm more than a little socially awkward. But my mom was my biggest cheerleader, so that has to be good enough, and it is. Okay, so the first week was still okay, fasting 1 clean day. And the reason I ended up with 3 OMADs that week is because I was attempting to fast and then did 1 meal a day. And I can't remember exactly why I caved each day, but I have noticed my hunger is ramping up. You know, I really don't get any suppression from this medication other than when I do eat, and I can eat less. But fasting really doesn't seem to be any easier than when I was off the medication, which I guess can be good news for when I do end up off this medication. This week, my schedule so far has been fasting clean Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday was an up day. I fasted Thursday, which was yesterday, and I am fasting today. Tomorrow will be an up day. Just trying to be very motivated and trying to push through, but man, are the second days hard. They are really hard. And as much as I would love to do 72-hour fasts again, or maybe even a 4 or 5 day fast, that is not in my near future. I do take salt on day 2. I pink salt under the tongue. I'm still drinking about 3 cups of coffee a day, trying to finish at noon, because fasting days, my energy is it's through the roof, and it can make sleep very, very difficult. I do take magnesium as well, and before bed, I take a teaspoon of baking soda in water. It does help, not knock me unconscious, but it does sort of get me to sleep at least quicker. But I'm up at the crack of dawn. And this week on Tuesday, I had to work from bed at 5:30 p.m. I don't have any relationship between my bedroom and eating. I've never eaten in there, so it does help me mentally because I just don't associate it as much as I would, say, in front of the TV that I would with eating. So, I mean, it does help, but, it can be a bit torturous. The good news is that I tend to eat better on my up days because I know I'm going right back into a fast. So I really do have to concentrate on the nutrition that I put in my body on those up days. And I have so much trouble on eating days because once I start eating, I don't want to stop. And I'm hoping that this kind of fasting schedule will minimize damage from these eating days. Fasting days, as boring and as annoying and as not agonizing, but they're not particularly pleasant as they are. They're still easier than eating days, because on eating days, I'm just thinking, what am I going to eat next? What am I going to eat next? I have to cram everything I like in. I have to get all this nutrition, and it's my brain going on overload. And while I do actively work on it, it is still my biggest challenge. And I'm just not one of those people who can just eat small little amounts throughout the day. I just want to cram it all in. And this is, of course, a result of being a binge eater. I am a volume eater. I like to be stuffed. And I really like that dopamine hit. And I just keep seeking that hit over and over and over again. Whereas on fasting days, my mood is calm and is much more even. But again, this week, I have been concerned that on day 2, especially early in the day, that I'm getting a little bit shaky, a little bit dizzy, especially when I'm showering. Heat, and humidity not only puts out my knee, but it does give me a little bit of shakes. So it is about that fine line of being hydrated, but not overhydrated. The salt does help. And I'm talking like one little small chunk of salt under the tongue. And I could follow the guidelines of, do I need salt by does that salt taste good? If it's gross and I don't want it, then I probably don't need it. But if it tastes good like it did this morning, then I probably know I did. So I will take little bits throughout the day if I feel like I need it, just because I don't want this to be unhealthy in this journey. I'm also been frustrated that where the fat's coming off. I know that's a tale as old as time, but I had read years ago about a woman who had had her gallbladder removed and was asking if any other people noticed that they were accumulating fat in the center of their abdomen. And I definitely have. I had my gallbladder taken out 30 years ago, and I know I talked about this in my last video, at least I think I did, but I'm noticing that the fat is not coming off there. And I would have thought in the fasted state that my body would really be attacking like fat in my organs and visceral fat, because it's so dangerous to my health. And my waist is 7 inches bigger than it was at the same weight I was previously. And that's concerning, that I have so much fat just sitting at my waist. Like, I don't understand why my body feels the need to take subcutaneous fat, which isn't as dangerous. So I don't really know if it's just the last place it's going to come off. You know how people talk about stubborn belly fat, if it's in part because it's menopausal and it's hormones, or what it is, but it's endlessly frustrating. Again, it's like my waist and abdomen are plus size, and my legs are getting unproportionately skinnier. So it's like I'm wearing these super baggy pants in the legs that are still staying up somehow. So definitely not fun on the close horizon. I'm wondering if doing the 2-day fast will give my body a chance to sort of attack that. I definitely, like last Sunday night, I had way too much sugar over the weekend. The OMAD on Saturday when I went out for dinner was not great healthy. It was, way too much carbs, I think. And on Sunday, I went nuts, a little bit nuts. I don't know why. But that could have caused the more difficulty, even though I took my shot Monday morning. The appetite suppression I do get from the shot isn't really appetite suppression. It's just extraordinary nausea that makes it easier not to eat. I am getting quite nauseated now. That's not particularly great, but it does only last really the one day. And since I'm fasting that day, I can't remember a day where I ate on the first day. I mean, maybe I did like a fasting mimicking, but it's a great day to pick to fast, because then I don't have to worry about getting sick. Wonderful. Anyway, the next time I do a full body video to add to the end of this, I think I'm going to wait till I'm at about 165, 164. I can't see any point in doing them without at least a 10-pound difference. So I'll do it then, but I'll keep adding the full body shots to the end of these videos just for anybody's particular interest. Thanks very much and good luck on your journey. Bye-bye.